Now I'm coming to the second part of the story. You can understand that Aunt Polly was searching for Tom. She could not find Tom, but she could understand that Tom was escaping, trying to escape, stealthily walking behind her. But Tom was also caught, and it was really a very what nice scenario. And she caught Tom. She caught Tom what? That Tom was stealing jam. And now she was ready to beat him. The switch hovered in the air. The peril was desperate. My, look behind you, aunt. Now the switch hovered in the air. And she just picked up the cane and she was turning it like that. And she was about to beat him with the cane. And the peril was desperate, means the danger was reckless, means it was great danger which was about to happen. Now my, look behind you, Tom. And Tom was also very clever. He pointed out, oh my god, you just look behind you, Tom. And the old lady whirled round and snatched her scarves out of danger. Now old lady turned round. She was in a moment of reaction. She just turned round and she just took her skirts also along with her, so that nothing could touch her skirt. The lad fled on the instant, scrambled up the high board fence and disappeared over it. Now what happened? This boy, he was very clever, and he befooled Aunt Polly. He just escaped from that moment. He scrambled, means he climbed with much difficulty over the high fence, board fence, and he just disappeared from the spot. He vanished from the spot. The old hang the boy. His Aunt Polly stood surprised a moment and then broke into a gentle laugh. Now Aunt Polly stood somewhat a very what? He was surprised. She was surprised. Now she started laughing. That how the boy had befooled her. Now hang the boy. Can't I never learn anything? Ain't he played me tricks enough like for that, for me to be looking out of him by this time. Now she was laughing and she was blaming herself. See that so many times the boy had befooled her. She could have learned something from the tricks of the boy. Now, and so many times it happened, still she had not learnt anything. But old fools is the biggest fools there is. So the fools who are old, they are the biggest fools according to Aunt Polly. Can't learn an old dog new tricks, as his saying is. So can't learn an old dog new tricks, as the saying is. So the old dog can't learn any new tricks. The old tricks are repeated, but she could not understand. So, but my goodness, he never placed them alike 2 days, and how is a body to know what is coming? So she said what, she exclaimed in a rather surprise that it was a rather shocking thing that Tom did not repeat the same thing frequently. As a result, what would happen? How could she know? He appears to know just how long he can torment me before I get angry. So it seemed that it appears to, she wanted to know that how long it would take her to get angry, and means Tom knew this thing, and he knew if he can make out to put me off for a minute or make me laugh. Now he knew what, that how he should stop Tommy. Means how Tom should stop Aunt Polly by playing a trick. And he knows if he can make out to put me off or a minute or make me laugh, I am doing my duty by that boy. And that's the Lord's true goodness knows. So she was telling what, that she was doing her duty. She did not want to really beat the boy. She knew that she had one theory in mind, that she knew that if spare the rod and spoil the child. Means if she would not beat the boy properly, the boy would not be guided properly, and the boy would not learn what is the difference between good and bad, or right or wrong. And as the good book says, means as the Bible says, or the any other holy scriptures say, he is my own dead sister's boy, poor thing, and I ain't got the heart to lash him. So she, means Tom was Aunt Polly's dead sister's son, and she did not like to beat him, but he was so naughty that she knew that she had to guide him. That's why she wanted to, means threaten him with that cane. Somehow, every time I let him up, my conscience does hurt me so, and every time I hit him, my old heart almost breaks. So every time she allowed him to go, what happened? Her inner self tortures her. That's why she had beaten me. And every time when she hit him, when she usually would beat him, what would happen? She became very sorry. Now, well, man is born, a man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. So he will play hooky this afternoon. So he knew the a general idea she plays that if a man was born of a woman, he would be definitely naughty. And he will play hooky this afternoon. Hooky means he would stay absent from school without any permission. Okay, so this afternoon he would do that, and I will just have to make him work tomorrow to punish him. So she thought of another plan that she would force Tom to work in the tomorrow the next day to punish him. It's mighty hard to make him work Saturdays when all the boys are having holiday. So it was quite tough for him to make him work on Saturdays when all the boys were having holiday. But he hates work more than he hates anything. So he used to hate work more than anything else he hated. And I have got to do some of my duty by him, or I will be the ruination of the child. So she became very careful. She said that for Tom should be punished, and Tom should be punished by what? Otherwise, he would be ruined. He would be totally in the bad company, and he would be totally ruined. Acha. Now Tom did play the hooky and he had a very, very good time. So Tom remained absent from school and he had a very good time. He got back some barley. He got back home barely in season to help Jim, the small colored boy, saw next day's food before supper, and at least he was there in time to tell his adventures to Jim, while Jim did 3/4 of the work. So he got back home barely. What happened in the in season to help Jim? So Tom remained absent from school and he had spent a very good time. He got back home barely in season to help Jim. He was at home. Means hardly he would be about to help Jim. The small colored boys. Called colored boy means the African boy. Jim was an African boy or a Negro. And he was doing what? He was just chopping woods. He was chopping woods, means the next day's wood, which would be used for the fireplace for cooking or etc. etc. So that next day's wood, she was chopping it and she was doing before supper. At least he was there in time to tell his adventures. Tom had reached on the spot to talk about his adventures, but not to help Jim. Okay, and Jim did the 3/4 of the work. Tom's younger brother, or rather half brother, Sid, was already through with his part of work, picking up chips, for he was quite a boy. So Tom's half brother Sid was there. He was doing his work. He was just picking up the chips, mean the small pieces of wood he was picking up, because he was quite a small boy. He was not given a hard work and had no adventurous, troublesome ways. And he was a very calm kind of boy, just exactly opposite of whom? Tom. Tom was quite naughty and troublesome, but he was not at all like that. And he was less adventurous and he had no such ways of troubling anybody.